Hello to Hila Oren. I'm so happy to meet you here again. Again, for the first time on this platform, excuse me. And Hila is a member of our advisory board, and I'd like you to tell us about yourself and what brings you to be here with us and how you are connected to cities. It's a great, very strong connection that you have. The platform is yours.
Thank you, Acheli. Thank you for hosting me. You know me, I always like talking about cities. It's part of my passion in a way. I've been working in the last 14 years with the city of Tel Aviv in different roles, but I think I define myself all the time as city maker. I always say I'm not a shoemaker, I'm not a filmmaker, I'm a little bit of a matchmaker, because this is what we do as city makers when we need to take off red tapes and roll red carpets. It's upon us to connect the dots and make the things happen in the city. Actually, I was just strolling around 2 hours ago on Pinkas Street, Pinkas 11, and just before they're gonna tear down 2 apartment buildings there, they gave it to be pop-up museums for contemporary art. Now, I must tell you, Rachel, you should go and see it for the next 4 weeks. 1,000 people are queuing all around to get and see this art. And why am I sharing this with you? Because this is what it's all about. This is urbanism. I see the city as a beautiful Disneyland, and we all just want to meet. We don't want to be at home in our little apartments and in our little offices where we feel lonely. We want to meet each other. We want to get inspired. We want to learn. We want to, develop and proceed. And whereas people, there's inspiration. So this is one example. But for myself, my passion in the last 2 years, and I'm sure it got a lot of boost because of COVID, because of the pandemic, is the open space. Jane Jacobs started talking already, and White was talking about the open space, and everybody talks about the public space and how we must give it back to the citizens, and the cars should get off, and we should start walking more.
Absolutely.
And enjoying. But still, although the public space looks much better, we still don't give it enough respect, and there's not enough functional way of looking at it. What do I mean? The new term that I refer to the city is an ergonomic city. Just like we have an ergonomic chair that adjusts to your back or to your body so you feel more comfortable, the city also needs to adjust to you, to the residents, so we will feel more comfortable. Now, where do we feel comfortable or not comfortable? Out in the public space, our apartments or our offices, our classes, or something that are being taken care of by us. But the public space is a lot of time neglected, is a lot of time dark. We don't feel hosted there, although this is where is really we can feel equal. I like to refer to the public space as the equalizer. Just like the globe has an equalizer, where all the people feel warm and lots of resources, the public space is a place where we can feel more equal. Some people live upstairs on rooftops, some people live downstairs in basements, but we all meet in the public space, in the streets, on ground zero. And just like on the beach, we feel in a way equal, whether we're the richest or the poorest, we all feel equal there.
So true.
Public space is just the same. And the course I've been starting teaching in Tel Aviv University with my architect students, I'm so proud of them because they also understood that now it's not only about designing the way the apartment will look, and the office, but it's very important how the public space of that apartment or of that building or of that institution. And they actually understood that this is the new approach. This is the next mileage we need to take care. Just like we talk all the time about the last mileage between the train station until our house, right? We have the last mileage, we have to take care of it, but we never take care of it functional in a way that we can actually meet and sit outside together and learn together, or have a meeting for our office. What we're used to take our dogs outside and stroll around. We used to take our little kids to the playground. We even have little sports gymnasium.
We do.
Okay, but what we don't have offices outside. You know, co-working spaces 10 years ago, we did not know what that term was. Each one of us had an office, right? Now we all have co-working space, but they're all inside. Now it's about time to move them, not all of them outside, but also to have offices outside so we can meet.
COVID is such a great opportunity. But you know, I want to tell you something optimistic, that in the northern part of Tel Aviv, because we're speaking to the world, so I don't have to say the name of the neighborhood, I was so surprised to find that, listen, we're 2 years or something into COVID, and I think a month ago, all of a sudden, instead of having only benches, I went down one day with my dog and I saw a table and chairs around it, which are connected to the ground, not chairs, which you see that it's made for people to I can actually have a business meeting there. It's amazing.
Exactly. So this is the next step, but still you don't have a shade there.
You're right.
And you don't have Wi-Fi there.
You're right.
And you don't have toilets there. And you don't have streaming water there to drink. So if you want to take the extra mileage, we must make sure that this place feels safe and nice.
With the basics, just the
exactly.
Basics. Yeah.
The basics, so it can function as an office or as in a classroom, just like we have classes inside. We need to have classes outside. So if some of the students are not healthy, we can still meet and not go into isolation.
Especially where you have such weather like we do.
Exactly.
Can't do it in -10, but here we can.
But you know, even -10 is quite crucial, but most of the places around the globe don't live in -10, most of the places.
Mm-hmm.
But even in -10,
you can still go out.
People go out and people have to take their dogs out and need to meet sometime. And you can have some fire outside in those places. True.
And heat up,
around the fire. So there's always, or just like these, we call them mushrooms, where they heat the place. You can find solutions, but we must make sure that we have our outdoor furniture and our outdoor resources, hosting and welcoming all of us to come and meet, because ideas do not pop up in our heads when we are alone. We need that brainstorming and that inspiration to be together. So if you ask me, Racheli, what is the next step for smart cities? This is the next step, to take public space and to make sure that we can all meet there, work there, learn there, host each other, and take the next functional inspiration meeting outdoors.
I so agree. And you know that we can see in Israel also that we have what is called kibbutzim, communities that live together. Anyone who wants to know, you can Google it. And moshavim, it's another kind of agriculture community that we have here. And many times the homes themselves are not very fancy, but there are so many people that drive through these places and say, oh my God, they're so lucky to be living here. And that's exactly because of what you say, because the public areas are always very welcoming, very green. There will be some kind of shade to sit under. And that's a whole difference, definitely. It has to be safe also. I'm sorry to talk about things that are not very...
You need light, you need music, you need cameras.
Exactly.
This is part of the new movement of sharing economy. We talk about it all the time. So we have Airbnb, we have WeWork, we have the cars, we have lots of things, but they're all on units based for one. It's not for groups. We need to make sure that we can meet and work together.
And they're not free. Everything that you listed is only for people who can afford it. Once you do it
And what we're
outdoors,
talking about exactly is making it as an equalizer so you don't have
exactly.
to pay. This is part of the services that the city needs to give you for free, just like roads and lighting and so forth. So for me, the ergonomic city is the city that enables you to meet and get inspired outside and makes that outdoor furniture welcoming. This is the next step for me. And let's meet again in a couple of months. Let's see which city will raise up the glove.
That would be great to hear from other cities. I just before we say goodbye, I wanted you to say just one sentence on how such activity also can raise the value of assets in each one of these areas, raising thus the ability to take taxes from people who actually have to live, and taking care of neighborhoods that were, rotten and forgotten to make them better. So it means that it doesn't only have to be a big minus in the city's treasury. Eventually, it could also mean good stuff. Am I right?
Of course, whenever, always, there's a term called build and they will come. If you'll put these resources, people will start using them and it will just get the demand bigger and bigger for that area. And this is why I started with the example that I shared with you, the building that is getting teared off in a couple of weeks, and it's now pop-up art. This is
instead of being a pre-slum, it became a museum. So listen, all of you that are listening to us, if you would like to speak to Hila and to see how she can help your city and help create such amazing areas, if you're within Israel and all over the world, please make contact through our website or through Hila. You can find her on LinkedIn, and you can always Google her, Hila Oren. Thank you so much for joining us, and see you again soon.
Thank you, Racheli.
Bye-bye.